Hello guys, welcome once more to another video again in my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we are going to be solving the Cameroon GCE Ordinary Level Mathematics June 2013 question 4, paper 2. Okay, the question actually comes from the topic functions. Okay, so please, I recommend that you should like the video, subscribe to it. So you're subscribing. The purpose is that if I upload any new video, you'll be the first to see the video. Okay, so guys, without wasting much of our time, let's just dive into it. All right, so the question is going to be displayed to you, and we tackle the solution step by step. Okay, I recommend that if you are a student preparing for the GCE exams, you can look for a book, a rough book, and a pen so that you can jot down the things you found helpful in the video. Okay, all right, so let's get started. Okay, um one Roman one of the equation reads, the function f and g are defined on R, the set of real numbers, as follows. F is such that x is mapped onto 3x minus 2, and g is such that x is mapped onto 2x squared plus 1. Okay, so A part says evaluate f of negative 1 and g of half. Okay, B says express in a similar manner the function g of f and f of g. Alright, a function h is such that f of h equal to 1 minus 6x. Okay, now says C part rates find h of x stating its domain. Okay, so the Roman 2 part rates, given that P is such that x is mapped onto 3 over x minus 4, x different from 4, and x in R. A part says find in a similar manner P inverse. B part says hence state the domain of P inverse of x. C says explain why P of x equal to 0 is not possible. Okay, so this part here, this part that x different from 4 and x in R, x different from 4 actually means that x should not be 4. Yeah, x should not be 4, because if x is actually 4, it means this function P of x will be undefined. Okay, yeah, so that is it. Because if x is 4, right, I'll put 4 here. So 4 minus 4 is actually 0, and 3 divided by 0 is undefined. Okay, so that is the reason why x should not be 4. All right, so let's look at the solution. So for the part A, f of x equals to 3x minus 2. So the question asks that should evaluate f of negative 1. Okay, so f of negative 1 simply means that where I'll find x, I'll substitute negative 1 there. So this is it. So I have 3 times negative 1 minus 2, and 3 times negative 1 is actually negative 3, and then minus 2. So negative 3 minus 2 is actually minus 5. So that is the value of f of negative 1. So in a similar manner, I can also express g of half. So g of x equal to 2x squared plus 1, and therefore g of half will be actually 2 multiplied by half squared then plus 1, and half squared is actually 1/4, and then 2 times 1/4 is just going to give us half. Yeah, 2 times 1/4 is just going to give us half, and then plus 1 we are going to have that g of half is just equal to 3 on 2. So this is how the question are mostly set in the GC on for this particular topic. They must ask that you should evaluate either f of something and g of something. Okay, so that is it. So this part is very essential, because this part will always ask you that you should evaluate something. If they ask you that you evaluate something, all right, just say f of n. So it means that where you find x, you substitute n there, provided the question was asking us that we should look for f of n, and the function f is 3x minus 2. It means that where I will find x, I will just substitute n there, so that I will just have 3 times n minus 2. Okay, but in this our case, we were asked to evaluate f of negative 1 and f of g of half. So this is our f of negative 1, and this is our g of half. Okay, all right, so let's continue. So we are going now straight to the b part. The b part is expressed in a similar manner the function g of f and f of g. So please, this order here is very important. I will tell you why I will tell you why this order here is very important. Okay, so if I begin with g of f, so this g of f, I can actually write this as g of f of x. Okay, and this g of f of x means that I'll go to my function g. This is my function g here, 2x squared plus 1, right? And then I substitute my function f inside this function g. It means where I will see x in g, I'll put f of x inside. Okay, so at the end of the day, we are going to have 2 multiplied by the function f. Okay, then square it plus 1. Okay, because this is actually my function. This is my function f. So this is the f is actually f of x is 3x minus 2. So this is my f of x. So it's like saying this is my g and this is my f of x. Okay, so writing 3x minus 2 all squared actually means that you write 3x minus 2 times 3x minus 2, and 3x times 3x, if you want to expand the bracket, right, 3x times 3x is going to give you 9x squared, and then 3x minus 3x times minus 2 is actually going to give you minus 3x. Okay, and then so it means normally we are going to have 9x squared or minus 12x then plus 8. Okay, yeah, no, plus 4. Okay, and then if you multiply by 2, if you multiply, because this 2 is actually outside, so if you multiply everything now by 2, we are going to have 18x squared minus 24x plus 8, and then that 8 now add this one, so we are going to have 9. Okay, so at the end of the day, we are going to have that the g of f is going to give us 18x squared minus 24x plus 9. Okay, so so please, if this point here is not clear, you can actually reach me on the comment section. Yeah, you can reach me on the comment section. Okay, yeah, so that is it. Okay, let's go to the case f of g. Okay, so the case f of g is just so we can actually write f of g again as f of g of x, right? So that it means that now the other here was g of f, and this other order here now is f of g. It means that in this case I'm going to substitute the function g in f. Okay, so where I will find x in f, I'm going to put the function g there. Okay, yeah, so that is it. All right, so at the end of the day, we are going to have that if you substitute g of x in f, we are going to have 3 g of x minus 2. Okay, because our g of x is just 2x plus 1. Yeah, so that is it. Now now if we decide to expand this bracket, we are going to have 3 times 2x squared is 6x squared, then 3 times 1 is 3, and then we notice that 3 minus 2 is going to give us 1. So that is it, and at the end of the day, we'll have that 6x squared plus 1 is equal to our f of g. So you notice that the order really matters here. Yeah, the order matters here, because you see that g of f is totally different from f of g. You see, yeah, so that is why I told you that this order is very important. All right, so let's continue. Okay, for the c part, the c part says a function h is such that f of h equal to 1 minus 6x. C says find h of x stating its domain. So here we don't know h, but we know f, and we know that our f of h is equal to this, so it means we have to find h according to the c part. All right, you have to notice that h is a linear function of the form ax plus b. Hence h is such that x is mapped onto ax plus b. Okay, why is h actually a linear function? we notice that our f is actually linear. It's a linear function also, and it is still equals to our f of h is still equals to a linear function also, and therefore h is actually a linear function of the form ax plus b. Okay, so now f of h, if f of h is equal to 1 minus 6x, right, it means we can write this f of h also as f of ax plus b, since we are going to actually substitute the function h in f. Okay, yeah, so that is it. So we can write f of h as f of ax plus b. Okay, all right. So but we know that f of ax plus b is equal to 3 multiplied by ax plus b then minus 2, because I've substituted the function h. This is the function h here. I've substituted it in the function f, and we know that our function f is 3x minus 2. Okay, that is why I substituted here like this. Okay, but since we know that f of h is equal to 3 times ax plus b minus 2, but I know that f of h is equal to 1 minus 6x, right? So it means I'm just going to equate both sides. I'm just going to equate it. Okay, so we have 3 times ax plus b minus 2 is just equal to 1 minus 6x. Okay, yeah, now I can actually expand this bracket. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have that 3ax, like 3 times ax is 3ax, and 3 times b is 3b, and then minus 2 is equals to negative 6x plus 1. I've just reversed this other part here. Yeah, I've just reversed it. So it's negative 6x plus 1. And then now I can actually compare coefficients. Yeah, I can actually compare coefficients here for me to obtain the value of a and b. Okay, so if I compare coefficient, I notice that the coefficient of x here is actually 3a, and the coefficient of x here is actually negative 6. Okay, so if I deal with the first part, I have 3a equal to negative 6. Okay, and if I divide all through by 3 according to subject of the formula, and I can also recommend that you should watch the video on the subject of the formula so that I can actually know how to make a the subject from here. So if I divide all through by 3, I'm going to have a being equal to negative 2. Okay, so that is for the first part. And then let's equate the constants now. So you notice that these are the constant. 3b minus 2 is a constant. Actually 3b is a constant, minus is a constant, and 1 is also a constant. Okay, so it means I can actually equate them. Okay, so at the end of the day, I have 3b minus 2 being equal to 1, and then I can actually send it to the other side of the equation. And according to subject of formula, if I explained it there, if a term is crossing the equality sign, the sign changes. Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm going to have 3b, I'm going to have b being equal to 1, because these two will cross, and if these two crosses, it becomes 1 plus 2, which is 3, and then I will divide all through by 3 so that b will be equal to 1. Okay, all right, so therefore h of x is equal to negative 2x plus 1. Why negative 2x plus 1? Because since my a is negative 2 and my b is 1, it means I'll come to the function h of x. So my a is negative 2, I put negative 2 here, and my b is 1, I put 1 here. That is why h of x is just equals to negative 2x plus 1. And then the C part says find h of x stating its domain. Okay, and the domain of h is actually the set of real numbers. Okay, yeah, that is it. Let's continue. All right, the Roman 2 says given that p is such that x is mapped onto 3 divided by x minus 4. So this is it here. This is it here. So that is it. And then a says find in a similar manner the p inverse. Okay, now if you are asked to find the inverse of a function, right, so we are just going to assign a variable to be equal to that function. Okay, so if we let m to be equals to 3 divided by x minus 4, it means that if I cross multiply, I'm going to have 3 being equal to m multiplied by x minus 4, because of course multiply here, of course multiply. Okay, so that is it. And then I can actually expand, I can multiply through by m. Yeah, so if that happens, I'm going to have 3 being equal to mx minus 4m. Okay, but the thing now is that what I'm doing is that I want to make x the subject. Okay, when you're looking for the inverse of a function, right, when you assign the variable, say m, to be equal to that function, and then cross multiply such that you are actually making x the subject of the formula, and then you conclude that the inverse of that function is just equal to that function that you have actually um make x the subject. Okay, so let me just um continue so that I can actually understand better. So now I'm going to make x the subject. Okay, so it means I'm going to take this -4, send it this other side. Okay, and if -4 crosses this equality sign, the sign changes to positive. Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm going to have mx being equal to 3 plus 4m. Okay, so now I can divide all through now by m, such that my x is just going to give me 3 plus 4m divided by m. Okay, so now it means my inverse function now, it means my p inverse of x is just going to give me 3 plus 4x divided by x. Okay, and x should be different from 0. Okay, because if x is 0, therefore this function will actually be undefined. Okay, so what do you notice? So when you assign that variable, so at the end of the day, if you are actually successfully make x the subject, and then you are to put x back where you have assigned that variable that you have assigned, right? It means you are going to put x back at the inverse of the function. Okay, yeah, so it means since my x is actually 3 plus 4m divided by m, and m is the variable that I assigned to be equal to my function, so it therefore means that for me to express the inverse of that function, I'm going to replace the m now with my x. Okay, or it might be y here, it might be 3 divided by y minus 4. So it means at the end of the day, you will still replace m with y. Okay, so that is it. Okay, the b part says state the domain of p inverse of x. So it means not actually domain. Here was supposed to be the range. Here was supposed to be state the range, not domain. State the range of p inverse of x. So the range is R. It means the set of real numbers excluding 0. Okay, so that is the range. So please sorry, this place was supposed to be state the range, not domain. So the range is the set of real numbers excluding 0. Okay, so that is the range. All right, so I don't think we are going to do the C part, so this C part will be left as an assignment. Okay, so that is assignment that you can actually present the solution in the comment section. So the C part says explain why p of x is equal to p of x equal to 0 is not possible. I think I almost explained that thing here. I almost explained it here. Okay, but just that you are going to present the solution maybe in the comment section, or if you are already in our WhatsApp forum, you can present a solution there. All right, so if you really need to be added in the WhatsApp forum, you can message me on this number on WhatsApp so that I can add you, or I can send you the link. Okay, all right, so please, this is the end of the video. Please, as I earlier said, please you share the video to your friends so that they can also benefit. All right, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.